Hey guys, how's it going? I'm here to do the extended by Ascendant. Sorry for the delay. I wanted to wait until until the moon was in Aries, because I need a little bit extra energy. This past Sunday, I was dead. I couldn't even make myself food. So, let's get started. Just a quick note of housekeeping. I will be changing houses in the next couple of days, and so that's why this is also late. In where I'm going, there isn't Wi-Fi, so I'll have to figure something out. So there may be a slight interruption in the service over the next couple of days, but I will try my best to, especially since the eclipses are coming up, to get things out without any interruption. But let's get started with Aries. Aries Sun. Aries Ascendant will do the energy from now until through the rest of the month. So from now through June 30th, 2019, what advice or wisdom can we give to Aries Sun, Aries Ascendant? Aries Sun, Aries Ascendant for the remainder of June. So June 25th to June 30th. Let's keep going. All right, I'm going to take that one. Let's see. The Wizard of Awareness. It actually came up in the reverse, but so I'll just leave it here for a second. I'll read into it. This comes from Colette Baron Reid's The Enchanted Map. I'm going to be using two of her oracle decks today, and then the Sonia Choquette Divine Energy Oracle. May I have a card of advice for Aries Sun, Aries Ascendant? I don't use this deck as much, so I'll have to look that one up also. We'll just read it together. It looks like the Three of Pentacles, though. You know, as you can see, this guy's like sort of contemplating the universe. It's like, oh goodness. Starfish spirit, open to infinite impossibilities. So that's very nice. You know, you can see that sort of like the infinite is also those three wheels there. So these are those two. And then let's get a last one from Sonia, and we'll read these stories. Can I have a card, please, for Aries Sun, Aries Ascendant? Make no judgments. Okay, so interesting. So this is like to be open. You know, and the starfish kind of, I don't know if anybody's ever seen how like a starfish moves. It has its feet underneath, and so it sort of glides across the sand. Feet, they're not feet. I mean, you know what I mean. But it sort of glides across the sand as it sort of receives everything on top of it. Now this one says, the Wizard of Awareness comes to you in this position to warn you that too much force behind a desire for a specific outcome robs you of a true and full experience. And this was very much that sort of came out in that card about taking a break, to take the hands off, or to take the hands off the steering wheel trying to push so hard. Step back, take your energy away from your situation, and focus on gratitude for the ever-changing conditions of life. Are you perhaps trying to control the outcome of something because you don't trust in your highest good? Meditate, be still, and your answer will come without any effort on your part. Be a neutral observer, and you will see how this moment is but a small marker on the map of your life journey. Okay, so that's interesting, and that also has to kind of do with the judgments. Like, if there's something you're trying to push through, or like some sort of goal you have, could be a project, relationship, whatever, there is a specific outcome that you desire that may not be coming to you in that shape that you wanted it to. It's suggesting that we sort of take our hands off the steering wheel. Don't make any judgments as to what's happening, because perhaps things, you know, I've been waiting on a phone call from a person for a business thing. Person just kind of, excuse me, seems to have like disappeared, dropped off the map, and I don't know what's going on. I've sent a couple of messages, but it's like, you know, it's like it's saying don't jump to conclusions about the way things are unfolding right now, and kind of be open to the fact that even though you can't see the little tentacles underneath moving things along, that they are, and that perhaps it's going to come in a different form than what we're expecting. And likely, you know, there may be also like a stall before the eclipses. The eclipses tend to be like, you know, in those movies, the Star Trek movies, when they go into warp speed, it's like the path is the same, but all of a sudden things just start moving really, really fast. Like things that would normally take months happen in a conversation. So right now, whatever's happening, if you feel some sort of stall, because that's what this upside down energy is, you know, it's like you don't feel the thing. It's like kind of like the magician inverted. Excuse me. So it's like things aren't happening the way you expected them to unfold. Just let it go. Take hands off the steering wheel. And actually, like, kind of like, I always think of the starfish as being like really fun, kind of sweet energy. And so divert your energy into something else that brings you pleasure, that brings you joy, and let whatever this situation is go through the spiral movement it needs to come back around to you. Now let's just read real quick. Okay, so stretched out on the beach, which also, if you can, that's the other thing with all this Cancer energy. If you ever need, on top of that energy recall that I sent the other day, if you need to clear off, if you can get to a body of moving natural water, right? So ponds, lakes, rivers, ocean, or even just a shower, you know, or a bath to take with salts, that will really help switch up your energy. So this one says, stretched out on a beach, the starfish opens fully to the rays of the sun, to the power of potential. As you look out toward the horizon, do you open up to infinite possibilities? So spirit is the source of opportunities beyond your wildest imagination and ensures endless possibilities are available. At this time, starfish spirit urges you to stretch past the limits of your everyday perception and comfort zone, to dream of bigger things and imagine with even greater hope and faith, for miraculous potential is shining down on you. Feel it, bask in it, and open yourself to be filled with inspiration. This is a very fortunate sign that starfish spirit has come to remind you of your infinite potential. Okay, so like I said, maybe things didn't go the way you wanted them to. Perhaps there's another solution. Be open to another path that whatever it is that you're thinking about could take. Like, kind of walk it through. All right, well, since this seems to not be going that way, what are the other possibilities? What else could I do? Like, I have this in my hands. How else can I, what else could I turn it to? Like, if your souffle doesn't rise, what other plate can you turn it into? Kind of like the tarte tatin moment, you know? They say that was born because she accidentally dropped a clafoutis on its head and she made something else out of it. So if there's an issue in your life, where can you make lemonade out of lemons? Or if that lemonade's not coming out, what else can you do with that sauce that's there? Be open to looking at things in a new way, and don't put a definitive stamp on anything yet as like success or failed or this or that. There's something needs to be reopened and expanded because it looks like it could get bigger. That's very nice. Okay. Let's do Taurus. Aries Sun, Taurus Ascendant. Can we have some advice and wisdom for Aries Sun, Taurus Ascendant for June 25th through June 30th, for the rest of the month? Aries Sun, Taurus Ascendant for the rest of June, please. Advice for their path. Okay. Compass. Okay. So something about direction, following true north, being guided by the stars, actually, because this is an astrological map. And then we'll read a little bit more into that. So Aries, Sun, Taurus, Ascendant, please. May I have a card for the energy and advice for Aries, Sun, Taurus, Ascendant for June 25th to June 30th. Spider spirit, make your dreams real. Okay, and that talks about weaving slow, carefully, piece by piece. Spider, you know, works quickly and quietly, and all of a sudden you don't notice, but there's a whole web. I walk into them frequently here on my garden. They form overnight. You know, it's like, it seems like nothing, and then all of a sudden it's there. Aries, Sun, Taurus, Ascendant. Can we have some words of advice for Aries, Sun, Taurus, Ascendant for June 25th to June 30th, please? Advice, Aries, Sun, Taurus, Ascendant. Okay. Tune out distractions. Okay, so it's about being focused. You know, Spider knows what he builds. Compass is about really cluing in on a direction. Let's read this real quick. These are short, so. And I feel like you've gotten that one before about the spider. Sorry. Compass. As long as you orient your compass to true north, okay, the direction of your higher power, you will never be lost. So you're entering uncharted territories right now. That's that Uranus and Taurus likely. And can expect wonderful new experience. To stay on the highest path of your destiny, you'll need to keep your compass pointed to true north. Only spirit or a higher power can serve this function. Money, property, prestige, romance, and other material achievements can't help you find your true path. They are simply things you may experience along the journey. Know that spirit is working in your life, so even if you feel lost temporarily, it will be easier to find your way. Have faith and trust, for your compass with spirit as true north will ensure that you'll never be lost, even on a starless night when all seems dark. So that's interesting, because I talked before about the spider working at night, you know, so it's like even in the dark, when you don't see it, things are being woven for you, right? And then you wake up and bam, you find it. So if there's, and it's also a question about like, you know, knowing what to focus on and knowing what not to focus on. Now let's get a quick look at this spider spirit. Weaving your dreams into the fabric of life begins with a single thread of intention. So it's like, what is that focus? And then spirit joins you as your co-weaving partner. Take but a single step to make your dream a reality, and spirit will take 10 towards you, for the universe is designed to support your dream weaving. Spider spirit arrives when you need reminding of the awesome power of co-creation with spirit. Ideas and resources will begin to appear as if by magic as you begin to bring your dreams from the realm of intention into the world of the senses where they take form. The action you need to take is to be clear about your intentions and then act as if you have become one, as if you have become the one that lives the life you desire. The web of creation has an uncanny way of coming together to weave the beautiful pattern you set in motion. Okay, so where you know what you want, it's really just a question of focus. So your message for the rest of the month is to focus your intentions and your energy on that, which is really funny because it's literally the exact opposite of what Aries Ascendant got. We were told to take our hands off the wheel, and yours is to clear away everything that's not focused on where you want to go. And this by focusing on this north node, whatever it is that's at your like sort of true heart's calling, or that lives in your heart, or that you feel sort of spiritually, creatively, divinely inspired, anything that comes from not the realm of the material, which is the opposite of Taurus, is when you know you'll be aligned with the divine spirit. And when you're aligned with the divine spirit, much like this spider weaves his web at night, all of a sudden things will just sort of happen and pop up. And this may be a very nice omen for the eclipses, because eclipses, as I was saying, they move you into warp speed. So it's like things that seem impossible suddenly just materialize. But just make sure that your energy and attention is focused on that which you're looking to materialize, and is not getting distracted by a whole bunch of other stuff. Okay? Let's do Gemini. Aries Sun, Gemini Ascendant, advice for the rest of the month. Okay. Rescue and come together, which is interesting because this is a 61, so it's a 7 and an 8. So there's a progression there. And we'll look at both of those. Sorry, I'm just going to take a sip here. It's super early in the morning. I have so much to do, but I need to get these cards out. So, Aries Sun, Gemini Ascendant for June 25th to June 30th. What advice for Aries Sun, Gemini Ascendant, June 25th to June 30th, 2019? Oh, goodness. I'm just going to take that one. Coyote Spirit. Trust in divine detours. Now that's quite interesting if this rescue thing. So if you're feeling like a little bit lost, check it. Love that. 61 and 16. Okay, so if you're feeling a little bit lost or things aren't going quite according to plan, there's clearly a reason for all of that happening. Let's get one more card. Aries Sun, Gemini Ascendant, please. June 25th to the rest of the month. June 30th. June 25th, June 30th. Aries Sun, Gemini Ascendant. Okay. Shine your light. Okay, and that's a 56. So there's lots of sixes here. Let's look at this rescue card because I'm most curious. And actually, just as an aside, when I opened the book, it opened to that description. So we'll read that also. You are always safe and secure and free to be yourself. So there's that shine your light message again. Asking for help isn't easy for many successful people. However, that's what you need to do now as you expand your life. If you find yourself troubled, you can expect help with whatever issue is at hand now. You need only ask and assistance will come your way. The most important support you can get is from spirit. Oh, interesting. So it's kind of like maybe there's like something that's gone off what you thought was the path. And by asking for help, there's a coming together, right? And that part of that asking for help, or part of that is in also expressing who you are, okay? So the most important support you can expect is from spirit. Get into a right relationship with the divine, and you'll see that many conditions line up as if by magic to provide you with all the help you need. Ask and you will receive. There is no need to fear. So that's interesting because this is the third reading where it literally says what we want is gonna like appear by magic. Let's read this coming together. Love needs to be expressed. Drawing the come together card is a sign that you're on the path to discover the nature of this emotion in all its forms of expression. Romantic, familial, unconditional, spiritual. In each instance, there is another being involved. Interesting. And I was going to say, because, 6 is kind of, it's a family number. The 6 years usually has something to do with family. It's a good omen for marriages, for kids, and stuff like that. So love involves a give and take between you and a significant other, a relative, a friend, an animal, and or spirit. This card assures you that love has come calling and seeks a partner in its dance. Know that you are cherished. Like a magnet, you're attracting love into your life. This is the time for harmonious, caring partnership. So that's very nice if you're... However, I want to look at this. What does that mean then, the divine detours? I mean, I think it's that, so there's clearly some sort of expression that needs to happen. You can't dim your light, that, you need to ask for what you need. And in that asking, love, remember it said in all of its forms, will come to you. So it could be a friend, it could be family, it could that some form of love will come to your rescue, as long as you don't hide, So let's see this. So do you find that you're being led on a strange detour in your life right now? Does it seem that what appears to be the next right action and the right choice, best situation, or fabulous relationship unexpectedly turns into the opposite? Oh, honey, I've been there 1,000 times. Or just disappears into thin air as if you've been tricked? Coyote Spirit's trickster energy, and that keeps coming out too, also in the readings, is designed to bring you into situations to teach you lessons you have forgotten to learn. Perhaps you need a taste of failure before you experience success. A need to feel disappointment before you can truly appreciate the joy, love, and prosperity that is coming up for you. Perhaps you are revisiting a pattern you forgot wasn't in alignment with the life you are intending to co-create, being reminded that gratitude, not complacency, will keep you awake and aware of all that is available to you in this moment. Coyote Spirit reminds you to laugh about the unexpected twists, to develop humility and gratitude while releasing your attachments to the form of your desires. Even when you suddenly find yourself on a detour, wondering when you will get back on track to manifesting what you desire, remember that Spirit has a plan and wants what's best for you now. Okay, so, all right, so it's almost like whatever happens in the detour, right? So whatever goes wrong puts you kind of in a position to ask for help. And in that asking for help, you actually find that you are more supported. Like it's like the diversion actually leads you to the destination that you wanted to be, but this would have led you in a total wrong direction. You see how that thing is going nowhere? Whereas this sort of creates things. So I think that if there's stuff that's gone wrong in your life and has led you to a place where you sort of feel isolated and abandoned, in a situation where you're very unrooted or uprooted, it doesn't seem to be going anywhere, that you see, it's like, here's the path, but rescue is coming from this balloon. So it's like, whatever's going on here was not where you were supposed to be, but this balloon, whatever it is that you ask for, the assistance that you ask for, is going to take you to where you want it to be. So it's going to bring you to your right destination, to a place that's more rooted, that's actually has potential to grow, because this can't turn into anything else. It's an isolated island. So don't get depressed or get down on yourself for anything that perhaps went wrong. That detour is actually going to bring you up into your into something better. Usually the universe brings us things that are better than what we could have imagined. So if this is speaking about the eclipse, which it may, because the eclipse is warp speed things, and things seem to fall apart, trust that actually what's happening is not that you are being taken away from something amazing. You see that woman hiding there? She can't tell that she's on something that's not grounded. And this person's going to come and rescue her if she asks, if she makes herself seen. See, she has to come out of there and sort of shine her light to make herself visible in order for this person to see her and take her off of this thing, which isn't going anywhere. So all of this is actually a very quite clear story. So don't get down if things don't go the way you want to. Know that they're going actually towards something better. Okay? Let's do Cancer. Ooh, Cancer has a lot of planets in it right now. Although some of those are going to start moving. Mercury will move first and then Mars, but then Venus comes in. But you know, you guys got a lot going on in your first house, so I'm sure you are busy bees. Aries Sun, Cancer Ascendant, please. Can we have some advice for Aries Sun, Cancer Ascendant for the time period of June 25th? Okay. Commitment. Oh, interesting. And sad embrace. So this one was hidden behind this. We'll look at those together. One looks nicer than the other. You may be, and it may actually just be this kind of like up and down energy right now, that like at one moment you feel elated and the other you feel desperately isolated. Let's look. Oh shit, love that. They're both nines. You see that? So it is sort of a wrapping up energy, that's for sure. Let's get another card here. Aries Sun, Cancer Ascendant, please, for June 25th to July. Let's do June 30th. Sorry, June 25th, June 30th, 2019. Aries Sun, Cancer Ascendant. Aries Sun, Cancer Ascendant. Okay. Ant Spirit. Okay, Ant Spirit. Time to collaborate. That's a number 1. So that is very interesting that there's this 9 energy. Holy shit, I love this. Okay, so that's a 1. That's a 28, which is a 10, which is a 1. So you have this like ending energy over here, which is this double 9s. And then you have double 1s coming up here. So it's like you can see the progression. And the 2 you have here are Ant Spirit, Time to collaborate, and Frog Spirit, Clear out the clutter. We'll look at both of those. May I have some words of advice for Aries Sun, Cancer Ascendant? Aries Sun, Cancer Ascendant, June 25th. Okay. God, you keep getting double cards. Actually, you got 3 cards. So, I'm going to leave that one there. And I'm also, so Speak Up. Look at that, card 45, so 9. And card 10, Claim Your Art. So there is a very clear progression that's going on here. And you guys are wrapping up a very important cycle, maybe a very long cycle, and moving into something new, you know? So, you know, and it feels like, so there's this sort of like up and down energy that's going on, which happens as you wrap things up, clear out the clutter, say what you have to say. And then as you start, it's very interesting, this Claim Your Art and Ant Spirit, you know, time to collaborate, and Art Ant, very close. So it's like, you know, the difference between art and an ant is a change of 1 letter, and the difference between the 9 cycle and the 1 is 1 step. So really it's about, I don't know if you've ever seen ants build things. It's really amazing how they work. They're fascinating. I try never to step on the ants or, you know, kill them, because they just seem to be working so hard that it's so mean. But they carry these they're these tiny little beings, and they carry like giant things on their back as they build together these fantastic colonies. So, you know, it may feel sometimes that you are carrying immense weight on your back, and it may feel like it's breaking you sometimes. I'm getting this story. It's like a parable thing when I'm going to screw it up, but you'll get the gist, right? So it's like there's this guy who sees people carrying big giant rocks, and he says to the first one, "What are you doing?" And he says, "I'm carrying rocks." And he asks the second person, "Sorry, what are you doing?" And he says, "I'm working." And then he asks the third person, and he says, "What are you doing?" And the guy says, "I'm building a cathedral," right? So they were all carrying the same exact rocks. It's a question of how you want to look at it, you know? So you can look at yourself carrying these rocks on your back as an immense weight that keeps you alone and isolated, or actually there's probably someone else who is doing the same exact thing as you. And so it's also a question right now about finding your tribe, you know, claim your art. What is it that you're building? What is it that you're creating? Find the other people that maybe feel weighed down or carrying the same burden as you are, and what can you guys build together? You know, so instead of carrying the rock or it being some sort of punishment, like the myth of Sisyphus, actually, perhaps there is something that's in these weights that you've been carrying that others are carrying as well that can sort of match up like puzzle pieces. Let's read a couple of these. There's so many to read all of them, so I'm just going to give a couple of lines. I mean, I think the energy here is very clear, but just to get another confirmation, we'll start with the commitment, right? So a true commitment is a responsibility of the heart, mind, body, and soul. This is a good time to make one. And it feels to me like, especially with these speak up and claim your art, that the commitment you need to make is also to yourself, right? And to what you're building and to how you're going to turn these experiences into something that feels like a lonely, sad embrace and a weight on yourself, as to you having a piece of the bigger puzzle, okay? Partnerships formed at this time are harmonious and powerful. The commitment card also indicates the natural evolution of a relationship from its inception to a literal or metaphorical marriage. At the very least, there is a promise of fulfillment in some form. However, you must be conscious of what you're committing to. Be clear about the nature of your commitment and your responsibility to it. Others are more willing to enter into partnerships at this time. Remember that your partnership with spirit and the highest version of your own self will engage the highest self in another, okay? So if you're coming to relationships, how do you want to come to it? Like open with positive hand, or like that? Because this lower energy isn't going to attract into your life what it is that you want. So, let's get into this sad embrace here with that big giant full moon over it. You guys may have had a rough last moon there. Loss is a part of life. Let go and allow time to heal you. You may be entering into a period where loss is a theme. Perhaps you have to let go of a long cherished dream, but that seems to be okay because the frog is asking you to clear out the clutter, you know? So whatever you're losing, you're not losing so much as you're freeing back into the universe. And that's going to be a question of perspective again. So take heart, for this ending may have been for your highest good. A better and more powerful dream will be realized in your life if you can accept the loss. Relationships based on faulty foundations are meant to end at this time. And that's what this says. It says, you know, if you're building something that's not in your highest or from your highest good or in your highest benefit, that it's not going to work. And that's also like about putting these two pieces together. If you're carrying the wrong pieces of the puzzle, they won't match up. If your expectations weren't met, a sense of loss arises along with sadness and grief. Express these emotions. Tears are like healing rain that can restore life to a parched inner landscape. Whatever the loss, let go and experience your feelings so that you may soon see what beauty is ahead. Okay, so these may... Again, this is the 9 and this is the 1. So there is clear progression on here. Let's look at these very quickly. It's rare that I get so much for Cancer. But since you have all those planets, I'm not surprised. Okay, so Frog Spirit knows that while all other frogs are croaking away, this is a time for you to simplify and declutter your life so you can feel content on your own lily pad. Even when life isn't creating a total cacophony, we can become drawn to the excitement of lots of noise. Okay, so this is kind of also Taurus got something like that, like focus on what you want, know what you're committing to. Then the next thing we know, our schedules and homes are cluttered with commitments we regret making. Oh my God, that's crazy. So even relationships need decluttering as they often become messy. So, you know, this card speaks to both of these. Frog spirit appears to tell you to clean house. Prioritize what you need, get rid of, or give away the rest so you can have some space in your day and in your head. You don't need the old stuff and its stories shouting at you about the past. Along with physical clutter, friendships are sometimes kept long past their expiration date, weighing you down with unnecessary baggage. Now is the time to let them go. Now let's have a look at this one. And I know I've been talking to some of you about this process of letting things go, past stories, that you don't have to be just because that story is your past doesn't mean it has to be your future. There's like, claim your art, you know, that's like, there's this thing that's just waiting for you to pick it up. When Ant Spirit comes to visit, it's to celebrate the benefits of working in partnership with others as a part of a community or tribe, which is what I said. Spirit reminds you that to build your dream, you need to work with others, accept help, and trust in your most important partnership, the one you have with Spirit. Your intentions will come to fruition if you remain awake and focused on co-creating your reality with others in Spirit. Okay, so this is all very clear. Remember, question of perspective, right? How do you want to come to something? Get rid of your past stories because your past is not your future. There's a clear evolution from the 9 to the 1. Find a tribe that's been carrying the same, you know, that has the same pieces of the puzzle that you do. And, you know, what are you committing to? Are you committing to keeping this sad embrace open, or are you committed to making something new happen? But it looks like you guys have a very nice evolution coming up, so that's exciting. Let's do Leo. Aries Sun. Hang on. Leo Ascendant, June 25th to June 30th, please. Aries Sun, Leo Ascendant, June 25th, June 30th. Okay. Moonlight. Very nice. Let's see the rest of that. May I have a card for Aries Sun, Leo Ascendant, please, for June 25th to June 30th? Okay. Moth Spirit, surrender now. Oh, look, and she's got the same little wings going on there, you see? And then let's get one more. Aries Sun, Leo Ascendant, June 25th to June 30th, 2019. Aries Sun, Leo Ascendant. Okay. Engage higher reason. Okay, so these are 3 cards I've actually never seen before. So that talks about a lot of newness. Let's look at this Moonlight card together here. And I keep getting that song Dancing in the Moonlight. I'm not going to sing it. I won't do that to you. So your intuition allows you to see beyond the mundane, logical and analytical. Follow it. Moonlight beckons. Come and trust your intuition to lead you into places that may not seem logical. Your hunches will be right on target. Resist second-guessing yourself, for your alternative perception is especially sharp right now. You can see beyond the surface of things and truly read between the lines. This is a good time to use oracle cards or other systems of divination to gain information. Remember that the language of intuition is a symbolic one. It comes subtly through a hunch, a tingling, a clear sound, or an animal or an object crossing your path. Spirit is sending you messages to help you right now. Success is yours if you follow the sign. All right, well, let's read what the Moth Spirit says then. I might as well read all of yours since it literally just told me to. Okay, Moth Spirit, surrender now. Moth Spirit asks, what is guiding you right now? And this one says the moon. So you might also want to pay attention to the moon phases. That could be very important for you. Are you in alignment with Spirit or pursuing something or someone with so much tenacity that it's become a compulsion or addiction? Are you so intoxicated by a potential relationship or opportunity that you can't think straight? Hard work and dedication are virtues, and love, of course, is a beautiful thing. However, this is very similar to the Aries one. We were told to take our hands off the wheel. When moth spirit appears, it's time to consider if you have gone over the edge in a relentless pursuit. Workaholism, overeating, perfectionism, or addiction to certainty, or even to a person may be your current vice. The form of your addiction does not matter so much as awareness of the consequences of remaining persistent when moderation is needed. Let go of your excess energy by channeling it in more than one direction. The fire burns hot, and you do not want to be engulfed by your passion to the exclusion of all other pursuits that matter to you. Interesting. And this is saying engage higher reason also. So some message is trying to get into you that you guys might not be paying attention to. Now is the time for surrender and radical acceptance so that your drive does not cause you to flee or to fight. Spirit wants you to release your need for certainty and control so that you can relax into a more balanced way of using your moth spirit energy. Banish the shoulds and the musts so that you can enjoy what is as you allow for what might be. Okay, let's read this also here, this engage higher reason. Okay. Are you unsure of what is actually true and what is just your fear or illusion talking? Are you feeling insecure and threatened? And this talked about activating your fear response because it said like turning on your fight or flight. So pay attention to whatever gives you that sense of like stress, like when your shoulders tense up or when your heart starts racing. Pay attention to how your body is feeling, right? Because that's where your clues are going to come from also. Anyway, not to worry, you're safe. It's time to discern fact from fiction, however, and respond to life's challenges in a grounded, objective way instead of an emotionally reactive way. Rise above the rushing river of your emotions and engage your reason and logic to better navigate the daunting, emotionally charged rapids of the moment. Okay, so is in this like pursuit of whatever it is you want, is it actually showing you that it's not in your best interest and yet you continue to pursue? Trust me, been there. Your divine energy is calling you to be detached and observe the situation objectively for a moment. Take nothing personally, remain calm and available to all points of view without feeling defensive. Your divine invitation is to resist emotional drama, avoid its addictive lure, and see it for the waste of energy that it is. Also, this talked about wasting energy, and this moon is half unseen. So it's like you're not listening to your intuition, but it's also saying to mix that. It's like listen to your intuition, but also look at whatever it is logically. Something looks like it's draining you. And you might not be paying attention to it. So pay attention to subtle signs that may come to you, and also apply. It's like these are sort of like bookending this situation. It's telling you to sort of like take the hands off the wheel of this situation and then combine like how is this situation making me feel, and then logically analyze those feelings to not get swept up in the Cancer drama. I'm guessing that's what that moon is for, and to sort of rise above it. However, there is something that you are pursuing that is best left alone. Sometimes again with that Aries energy, I did that podcast about it. Sometimes we end up chasing things. We end up putting a lion's worth of energy into chasing an insect, and it's not worth it. So ask yourself very clearly, is the energy that I'm putting into this and specifically the emotional energy that I'm putting into this thing worth it? Okay? Let's do Virgo. Sorry, I forgot where I was for a second. Okay. Aries Sun, Virgo Ascendant. May I have messages for Aries Sun, Virgo Ascendant? Okay, education upside down or in the reverse, so we'll look at that. May I have a card, please, for Aries Sun, Virgo Ascendant for June 25th to June 30th? Aries Sun, Virgo Ascendant. Okay. Hang on one sec. Okay, the Rhino Spirit. Overcome any obstacle. Let's get the last one here. Aries Sun, Virgo Ascendant. June 25th to June 30th. Aries Sun, Virgo Ascendant. June 25th to June 30th. Oh, that one literally flew out. Amazing. Face your adversities. Okay, so these two are right on point. Let's see what this education reversed says. I don't know on point, but they say the same thing. May not resonate with you. Okay, here we go. Okay, so stubbornness and the desire to know it all and be right no matter what will not get you what you want. So, question, is the obstacle your own stubbornness? Remember, the rhino is very hard to move. Or could it be that you're afraid to be seen as someone who knows less than you're supposed to? Could you be flying through life by the seat of your pants, hoping no one will notice you're skimming the surface of things? Life is filled with lessons, some bitter, some sweet. A strident lust for certainty will never bring you the wisdom you seek. Pretending to know more than you do won't make you wise. Be assured that not knowing is a magical place to be. All manner of mysteries are revealed. Be open. It's okay not to know. Okay, so what is... There's a saying, I can't remember if it's like perfection is the enemy of good enough. You know, so I saw this speaker once at a digital summit in Dublin. His I think his name was Aries Levine. He was the inventor of Waze, and he said, I think he said perfection is the enemy of good enough. And he says if you wait to launch your project until it's perfect, like if you wait until it's perfect to launch it, it'll never happen. He says you need to launch things when they're good enough, because there is no such thing as perfection. And if you continue to try and achieve the impossible, you'll never get anywhere. So it's kind of like, when do you say, okay, it's good enough, and now like just at least take the next step, as opposed to sort of being anxious that it's never perfect? Because I know the Virgo energy wants purity, wants perfection, wants no cracks in the vase. But sometimes, there's that Japanese art where when they fill the cracks with gold, so that actually the cracked vase or the cracked cup or the cracked vessel becomes more valuable than it was at the beginning. So in the cracks, in the not knowing, in the things that look like mistakes or look like faults, there is actually tremendous value. And perhaps that, not seeing that, perhaps the pursuit of perfection has become an obstacle. Anyway, let's read this. We always have the choice to press ahead, and Rhino Spirit offers you the power to break through stubborn obstacles. This animal spirit knows there is more than one way to open a path to what you seek. When Rhino spirit appears, you are reminded that you have a marvelous ability to overcome obstacles in multiple ways. By going around them, shattering them with the force of clear, deliberate intentions, or even transforming them into clouds that drift away by refusing to allow them to limit you. Apply your Rhino spirit with creativity, and no obstacle can stand, for you have magic to make and many ways in which to make it. Your power is awesome right now. Rhino spirit also wants to remind you that when an obstacle appears to prevent you from getting what you desire today, it means that something much better is coming. Keep that in mind when you consider the nature of the obstacle in front of you now. Great Spirit loves you so much and only wants the best for you. Okay, so, I don't know if what this need to know more is. And this came up actually for someone else also, is that there's more than one way to skin a cat, right? So, and that's a horrible saying, but it is what it is. I didn't invent it. So, look at options. Perhaps it's like the feeling that you don't know enough, or you can never know enough, or you have to pursue more information, is actually what the obstacle is in and of itself. You seem to be armed with everything that you need to get past whatever is stopping you here. So I don't know if the stubborn obstacle may be coming from your own energy or maybe coming from the outside. But it seems to me that instead of trying to find the perfect answer, you seem to be armed with everything that you need already. It's just about looking at things from a different perspective, perhaps turning the information that you've assimilated up until now on its head. But you are certainly blessed. It seems to say to me, you don't need to know more about whatever it is that's blocking you. You just need to do something about it. That it may not be perfect. It may not be the way you had hoped to, but there is a solution. You're never going to find the perfect solution. You have already what you need to, if you just kind of look at things differently. If instead of avoiding them, you actually face them head on. Okay? Hope that makes sense. Okay, let's do Libra. Aries Sun. Oh my goodness. Let me start over. Sorry about that. Aries Sun, Libra Ascendant for the period of... Cards are nutty. Aries Sun, Libra Ascendant for the period of June 25th to June 30th. Aries Sun, Libra Ascendant, June 25th, June 30th, 2019. Aries Sun, Libra Ascendant. Aries Sun, Libra Ascendant. Okay. I'll take the top one out. So, sorry, Rescue. And someone else got this. I don't remember who, but let's see how else it plays out. So, Rescue is about asking for help, feeling kind of lost in a tower. It's also about not necessarily realizing that you may be in a... It's about realizing that she doesn't have the perspective on what she's standing on. She may definitely realize that she's, stuck, but doesn't realize actually how stuck she is. And that actually the only way that relief is going to come is literally from outside assistance. Like, there's no way for her to get off that rock because there's nowhere to go, right? So something's going to have to come in from the outside to be able to take her out of there. So let's see how that story sort of plays out. Aries Sun, Libra Ascendant, June 25th to June 30th. Aries Sun, Libra Ascendant, June 25th to June 30th, 2019. June 25th, June 30th, Aries Sun, Libra Ascendant. Almost. Clearly has a very specific card in mind. Aries Sun, Libra Ascendant, June 20. Okay. And there it is. Cat Spirit. Claim your independence. Which is funny because this says ask for help. So let's see how that works. Aries Sun, Libra Ascendant. Well, it's interesting because it's kind of like here you need other people, which is Libra, and this is kind of like Aries energy, right? Claim your independence. So it's sort of about balancing those two things out, that first and seventh energy. And about partnership. Well, because you have, you'll have Aries on your 7th house. So it's about your 7th house is always going to be about learning how to be independent in a couple situation. But let's see how this plays out in the last card here. Aries Sun, Libra Ascendant, June 25th to June 30th. Aries Sun, Libra Ascendant, June 25th to June 30th. I haven't seen this card yet, so we'll read it together. Aries Sun, Libra Ascendant. Okay. Face your adversities, certainly in that. So it's interesting because they speak to both of these energies, right? Like face your adversities, but also take the lead. I want to read more about this because I'm trying to figure out how these two. I just read this because I got it for Virgo. Do you need to rescue someone? Let's look. Are you feeling like do you often put yourself in this position of needing to be the damsel in distress or the male version of that? Do you wait for people to come or try and rescue you? It's like, there's these two conflicting energies here of one that's like, this says ask for help, okay? And then this is claim your independence. So let's see how these two, and then everything else is like face the adversities at hand, take the lead. So what's going on here? Let me get another clarifier for you guys. All right, when cat spirit meows, she's calling you to claim your independence and allow for some space between you and others in your life. The only way you can grow in all your relationships now is to have a healthy sense of self-respect and self-worth. When you walk with dignity, knowing who you are, self-aware and willing to grow, trusting the value you bring, the world will mirror all this back to you in kind. When you say no to codependency and enmeshment, live and let live, and practice taking risks as you wander into new territory for you, Cat Spirit rejoices. She is here to urge you to let your independent spirit roam free. Okay. let's do this. Can you clarify this rescue card for us, please? Can we have... Okay. So these two came out, and we'll read both of these. This says, follow the leader. And this says, coming apart. Not gonna lie, I'm as confused as you, but let's see. All right, so you've been called, oh, okay. You're being called to lead. All right, every life is a teaching tool for others. You're this is this one. You're being called to lead others by example. Your wisdom has been earned as a result of your bravery in the adventure of your life. Okay. The experiences of battles won and lost, places discovered, tears shed, and joy revealed have placed you in a unique position to be of service to others. Your suffering has been crystallized into a talisman of wisdom. Now you must share it. Being fully authentic, you'll lead others into the light. You'll be required to divulge some things about your past so that you may help someone else. Lead with love. There is another message here as well. Look to those whose great character and accomplishments you admire. Emulate the leaders you respect. You will then in turn have more to offer. Okay, so actually I wonder if this card here... Okay, so it could be also a warning. Like, be careful about asking for help all the time. Perhaps there is also someone else that requires your help at this moment that may not be asking for it, that can benefit from your past life experience, who can learn from your example, or also, like, you know, maybe it's like you've kind of put yourself on this rock, and what you've done until then is sort of wander around on the different paths, and you keep realizing that there's actually no way out. And so by emulating leaders you admire or people you admire, you actually can figure out that there's a different way off that rock, right? That maybe everything that you've gone through, you can help teach somebody who's in this experience themselves. Everything also you've gone through has led you to realize that you don't need to go around this rock anymore. What you actually need is a hot air balloon to get off. That actually this rock is going nowhere. And so it's time for you to get yourself off that rock by taking the lead in leaving. Now let's see what this says here. Coming apart reverse. A situation is unraveling and your best plans are leading you into a tricky maze. Okay. Your challenge is to separate out the elements of this puzzle to get a better perspective on what happened. You may have lingered too long in a place. Interesting. Okay, so that's this. When you didn't belong anymore, seduced by a temporary solution. As you untangle yourself, it's important to maintain a sense of humor. Don't fret. You will learn something valuable that you'll need later when faced with a more dangerous situation. Breathe and know that you are loved. Okay, so it's really asking you to take the lead in getting yourself off of your own rock, that to be careful about where walking the same path keeps getting you back at the same place, and that there's no way off this rock unless you try something completely different. That whatever patterns or behaviors that you keep repeating that you don't like, that lead you into situations that leave you feeling isolated and alone, even though someone else is there, that it's time for you to kind of step into this energy and be able to just sort of like walk off by yourself, you know? So there's a lot here about paths, about being stuck and knowing how to sort of dust oneself off and keep moving, but in a sense that you move forward with a very strong, powerful sense of self. You know, that perhaps whatever this situation, perhaps this isolation, feeling isolated even though there was someone else there, you know, that this person was never going to be, that they couldn't rescue you, or that you were hoping they were going to rescue you. And what it's saying is that actually you have to walk that path alone. You're going to have to walk out of, you're going to have to save yourself, essentially, is what's getting there. If this is about someone else, whatever experience that this was, you'll be able to share your wisdom with others. You may have someone else going through this at the time, or it may be you going through it. As long as you stay in your leader energy here, things look good. That you know, all of the wounds of the past have helped make you the leader you can be today or tomorrow. Okay. Let's do Scorpio. That was really long. You know, Cancer and Libra, the cardinals are really long this week. Okay. Aries Sun, Scorpio Ascendant. Aries Sun, Scorpio Ascendant. Can I have... Okay, thank you. Slow and steady. Okay, so it's like a little magical snail. Let's see what this one said. Can we have a card for Aries Sun? Thank you. Hummingbird Spirit. Be here now. Okay, so if things aren't moving as quickly as you like, if you're too projected onto the future, this suggests that you just kind of slow down and enjoy the ride. May I have a card for Aries Sun, Scorpio Ascendant, June 25th to June 30th? Aries Sun, Scorpio Ascendant, June 25th to June 30th. Do all things in moderation. Okay, so this is pretty clear. I mean, let's read it, but I think your guys is very clear. Slow down, take it easy. Remember the old cliche, slow and steady wins the race. This is a time for easy movement, unhurried steps, and a steady heart. Trust that taking life at a more leisurely pace will give you greater access to your dreams. Slowing down allows more contact with the juicier elements of your life. Savor them. Interesting. And then let's read this one, although I think this is pretty clear. And it's funny that they would pick a hummingbird because, you know, their wings move so fast that you can't even see them. And there's, you know, it's funny because this whole week, there's been a lot of contrasting energies. Like you'll have one that's very up and one that's very down. So you have very slow with a very fast hummingbird spirit. So anyway, things, you know, for all of us, things may be feeling up and down. The hummingbird's wings beat so swiftly it can hover in seeming stillness as it drinks deeply from a flower. Hummingbird spirit comes to remind you that the beauty and sweetness of life is in the eternal now, the timeless present. Here and now you are becoming the person you wish to be, to have the experience you wish to have. Focus your energy on the flower before you, for what you desire is being provided. Yes, there are blossoms everywhere. The choices can be dazzling. And so that's interesting. It's like, don't overindulge. Hummingbird spirit is that you have no need to go about in search of something better, for all that you require and desire is before you. You will know this as you become still, feeling your connection to spirit, who loves you unconditionally and will always provide for you. Okay, so this has been the simplest and clearest message of all of them. Take a break, enjoy your life. What's in front of you is actually awesome. Don't overindulge, but just enjoy what you have, because there is nothing better. So that's pretty awesome. Okay. I mean, sorry that was so short, but great that was so short. Everybody else got really complex messages. Let's do Sagittarius. Aries, Sun, Sagittarius, Ascendant for the time of June 25th to the rest of the month. So June 25th, June 30th. Aries, Sun, Sagittarius, Ascendant. Aries, Sun, Sag, Ascendant, June 25th. Okay. Intention, 22 in reverse. So we'll read that. Let's get the other. Aries, Sun, Sag, Ascendant, please, for June 25th to June 30th, 2019. Aries, Sun, Sag, Ascendant. Okay, so Scorpio got literally the exact same word, but from the other deck. So slow and steady wins the race. Turtle spirit. I also, one of my favorite stories, it's funny because like I said, Scorpio got it. One of my favorite stories is about, I mean, it's not my favorite story. It's a story about narcissists, really, but is the turtle and the scorpion, you know. I'll talk about that in a second. I'm going to keep shuffling because I wasn't paying attention. Okay, Aries, Sun, Sagittarius, Ascendant, June 25th to June 30th. Aries, Sun, Sagittarius, Ascendant, June 25th to June 30th. Just the one will be fine. Aries, Sun, Sagittarius, Ascendant. Aries, Sun, Sag, Ascendant, June 25th to June 30th, 2019. Slow and steady wins the race. Okay, so you guys not getting the answers that you're looking for? I'm going to take that one. Be true to yourself, which is all about that Sagittarian authenticity. Let's see what the rest says, because this feels kind of, I might get another one because that feels a little bit generic, but I mean, it's valid all the time, but okay. Deliberate, clear intention have the power to change the world, but it's in reverse. So are you clear about your intentions, or are you in a foggy state of denial about your true motives and or ambitions? Okay, so no, that makes sense. And it's interesting. It's interesting that I mentioned that scorpion turtle story, because, you know, not being clear about true motives and or ambitions. So this is the time to step back and gain perspective and clarity about your direction. Check your motives and ask if they are sincere. Are you pursuing some goal blindly without asking its cost? Good intentions are being misinterpreted. Now is a time for self-evaluation and self-nurturing. You will benefit greatly if you take time out to regroup. Okay, so you know the story, I'm going to go ahead and tell it because I think it might be relevant. And since we keep talking about there's some sort of like trickster energy in the mix, the story about the turtle and the scorpion is basically that the scorpion comes to the riverbank and asks the turtle if he'll give him a lift from one side of the bank to the other. And the turtle says, yeah, but you're a scorpion, you're going to sting me. And he said, the scorpion says, but dear turtle, why would I do that? If I stung you, we would both drown. And so the turtle says, okay, that makes sense. And he decides to take him across, right? And of course, halfway through, the scorpion stings the turtle and they both drown. And the guy said, the turtle's like, why would you do that if you knew we were both going to drown? And the scorpion says, I can't help it. It's who I am. Okay, so I'm getting not only what you want to pay attention to mostly, and this is why I think things are taking a long time, is that someone's true intentions need to be revealed, right? Like, why is that Scorpion asking you for a lift? Why do you want to give the Scorpion a lift even though you know it's going to sting you? You know, so it's like, you want to stick with you always want to be true to yourself, but you also need to be clear about other people's intentions as well. And you can only, so it's also like, if you're like, oh, okay, I can give him because I don't want to be the bad guy, right? Like, what's your motivation in doing that? What was the turtle's motivation in giving the Scorpion? He knew already how it was going to end up. He didn't trust what he knew about that person. So, move slow with people. Let them reveal themselves. And you can only do that, if you give, but also like trust your instincts. So turtle spirit arrives to you that to remind you that when you do what you need to do, putting one foot in front of the other and trusting that you will see your intentions manifest in perfect timing, your prosperity and love will grow exponentially. Now is not the time to rush around trying to force matters. Move slowly, perhaps even so slowly that it feels that if you are not moving at all. And I know this is frustrating. I can imagine for an Aries with Sagittarius Ascendant how frustrating that can actually be. This may be a time to crawl before walking, taking your time to align to Turtle Spirit's place as you contemplate this road you are on, doing what you need to do in this small moment that will soon pass. Turtle Spirit reminds you that sometimes the best action is to slow right down. So if it feels as if you're not doing enough, know that simply being aware of what is happening right now may be an important step towards determining whether you need to pivot or simply keep putting one foot in front of the other. True love and true success comes with patience. Focus on the now and the next step will be clear. Okay, so like I said, I feel like there's a warning about other people's intentions and giving time and space to letting them reveal themselves, because somebody's authenticity is going to come out. At the same time, to never sort of subjugate yourself to the evil will of others. But also to be very, very clear on why you're doing what you're doing, So if you're involved in a revenge plan, that's not gonna help. So make sure you see how it's all like sort of lily white. Make sure that your intentions are clean, are pure. Otherwise, you're gonna end up down a path that you don't want to be on. So let things be slow. There is a reason. Remember I said last week, I think it was, that there's the message is the medium. So that in the slowness, and you guys keep getting this to slow down, right? But in this slow, non-moving space is when you will be getting the information that you need to get. There's something you need to pay attention to in your environment that you can only pay attention to if you're moving slowly, okay? I know that's not welcome, but that's what I get. And I keep getting it. It's like the 5th week in a row that we get that for Sagittarius, so there has to be some truth to it. Okay, let's do Capricorn. Aries Sun, okay, Capricorn Ascendant. Listening, upside down. So we'll read that in a second. Aries Sun, Capricorn Ascendant. Oh my goodness. Your cards are flying out. Beaver Spirit, lay a solid foundation. Okay. Let's get one more. Aries Sun, Capricorn Ascendant. June 25th to June 30th. What words for Aries Sun, Capricorn Ascendant? June 25th to June 30th. Go with the flow. Okay, so let's see how those all weave together. Let's look at this listening card. Okay. Are you feeling that you're not being heard, that perhaps your needs aren't valid, that your song will go unsung? Now is the time to bring your message to the world. Speak up. It's time for your voice to resound throughout the sphere of influence. This is a moment to say what you mean and ask for what you want. In the reversed position, listening has another meaning too. It also asks if you're refusing to listen to someone else, preferring to hear what you want instead of what's being said. This is the time to get out of denial. Reversed, this card always brings freedom if you heed its advice. That's interesting, because there's like, I find that the readings have been, one sign is infused with the energy from the one before it. And there was something about that also for Sagittarius. So let's do the beaver spirit here. Beaver spirit is here to tell you about a power living within you that is born of spirit, the source from which all life arises. This is the power to establish the sacred connection with the universal consciousness so you can deliberately co-create the world you desire. Know that it takes work, determination, and sustained effort to co-create and lay a solid foundation for your dreams. But that's like perfect for Capricorns. If with Spirit as your partner, you bring the twigs and branches of your intentions and desires and spread them across the river of time, you will find that you can even change the direction of the flow of life. Interesting. You can ensure that your world will be prosperous and purposeful, filled with love and joy, and rich with magic and meaning. That which you desire will come to you and remain sustainably if you build on a sturdy foundation. Keep your intention and energy consistent and deliberate, using all of your resources and the energy of this wonderful, productive time. Have faith, for with Spirit to co-create with you, your success is assured. Spirit is your partner, helping you along as you change the course of your life in the way that your heart desires. Okay, and with this listening card here, it's like, are you not listening to that which comes? So, talking about, it's interesting that it says to go with the flow because you can actually change the flow. So it's like, maybe you had like a original plan and maybe you're not listening to how that plan is changing, So go with the flow means that it's also like not a preset path. So if you were on a preset path that perhaps something inside of you is telling you that you need to shift it, this is inviting you to listen to that voice and to be able to make the pivots that you need to when necessary. That if you continue to build something on faulty foundations, it won't last. And that since you are currently building clearly in a very strong, powerful, divinely inspired way, when that voice comes in from Spirit telling you to shift the direction, it's best to listen, because that's what the flow is, that if you get the sort of divine inspiration that things actually might need to shift a little or pivot or move into something else, which may look different than what you had initially imagined, you're being invited to give space to that voice, music, because you see they're dancing also. So it's like when you hear that music coming, you want to dance as the music changes time, right? And the dance steps follow the beat of the music. So as long as you're sort of following the sounds, voices, music of your destiny, you're sort of being given like a blessing card here that with piece by piece, things will start to, as long as it's solid, things will start to grow. It just takes a little time. And with every, see a bunch of twigs together, they actually start to become a house very quickly. But that you may be asked to shift your position a teeny bit and to trust in that voice that's telling you to sort of move in a different time, move in a different direction, move at a different speed, change your moves, stuff like that. But whatever it is that you're building looks very exciting. So great for you. And also 6, 7, and 8, you know, so that's a 6, that's a 34, that's a 53, 6, 7, 8. There is very clear progression here. And it's like a very tight story. So just make sure you keep listening. You're like sort of keeping the time, you're keeping the rhythm, and you're listening to the rhythm, and your steps are moving in time with the rhythm of life and the rhythm that spirit is giving you. Okay? Let's do Aquarius. Aries Sun, Aquarius Ascendant, please, for the time of June 25th to June 30th. Aries Sun, Aquarius Ascendant. Aries Sun, Aquarius Ascendant. Okay, nice. Got this compass out for, I think it was Taurus that got it also. So compass and mountain. It's a 5 and a 6. So development also. I've never seen that mountain card, so. But it's like the moon. You see how the moon, so that eclipse for you is going to bring something to light, it looks like. Yeah, it's going to shine some light on some sort of, because that mountain has its mouth open. So it feels like you're going to get some information out of some information maybe on your direction. You see, because where the light's being shown is the true north. So you may be getting some information from this upcoming eclipse on your path forward. Can I have a card, please, for Aries Sun, Aquarius Ascendant for June 25th to June 30th? Aries Sun, Aquarius Ascendant, June 25th to June 30th. Aries Sun, Aquarius Ascendant. Mountain is also fixed, so that's your fixed energy there, as is the north. Aries Sun, Aquarius Ascendant, June 25th to June 30th. Okay. Flamingo Spirit. Okay, I think I just hurt my back. Embrace the in-between. Okay, so you may be unclear about the way forward, neither here nor there. And it looks to me like from these two cards that you're going to get some information that's going to help you figure out, or will at least confirm what your true north is, that you're on the right path. I will read, but I know this one. This one just says, you know, as long as you stick to your true north, it doesn't matter where your path goes, you'll always be right. So, so to make sure that even when you're lost, as long as you're faithful to your true north, you'll never actually be lost. And this is also like showing the path in the mountain, you know, that something's going to shine a light on it. So even though everything else feels dark, there will be some light on the path to, interesting, go with the flow. I got this for Capricorn too. And I was literally just saying that every reading has had some sort of like of the sign before it infused into theirs. So it's quite interesting. Okay, so let's look at this mountain card. All right, sometimes you'll come across what appears to be an insurmountable obstacle, like a huge mountain that separates you from your success. You might think that climbing it or chiseling away at it is the answer, but why take such a treacherous, tedious approach? Be like the rivers that flow around the mountains naturally. You'll move past this obstacle relatively quickly if you choose the easy way around. This is the time to adapt to your circumstances. If you do decide to climb, remember to take one step at a time, opting for the next right action. Okay, so if you guys are feeling a little bit lost and like You may have lost the way. You are neither here nor there. It suggests, it's not suggests, flat out saying, to go with the flow. Also for you guys, this came up in Capricorn as well. 6, 7, 8. I'm sorry, 5, 6, 7, 8. Which is also interesting because, you know, that's what they do when they say dance. You know, it's like you start dancing 5, 6, 7, 8. So if you're feeling lost and you don't know which path to go, always stay true to yourself, like what's in your heart, and you'll never make a wrong move. It seems that there's an easier way to sort of dance around the problem. It's suggesting that if you go with the flow, it doesn't have to be difficult. If you can sort of move easily, make yourself adapt to time, space, and your next move, kind of go with the flow and see where this leads you. If, however, you need to scale the mountain, as we Aries like to, and then it's telling you to go one step at a time, to never try and go too fast. So that seems very clear. But it says, you know, it says don't worry about that sensation of being lost. It's like, just because you can't see necessarily where you're going doesn't mean the path isn't there. Remember, it's that like driving at night thing. Just move enough, sort of follow move enough as the lights in front of you are showing. You just need to cover that, and eventually the path will sort of reveal itself. Okay? Let's do Pisces. Aries Sun, Pisces Ascendant, please, for June 25th to June 30th. Aries Sun, Pisces Ascendant. Making a choice and ride the wave, upside down. This is like the third time the go with the flow cards have come out. But yours is upside down, so we'll see what that means. Can I have a card for Aries Sun, Pisces Ascendant, please? Aries Sun, Pisces Ascendant. Rhino Spirit, overcome any obstacles. Who got that? Virgo. That always happens to you guys. You guys get the same, you know, you're on the same axis, so you end up getting the same cards. Interesting here that there's also twos, you know? There's like the 2 dolphins and the 2 choices here, and then the 1 rhino who has to sort of charge through things. This is a 5. That's a 5. Let's get one more card, please, for Aries Sun, Pisces Ascendant. 5 energy is pivot energy, you know, chaos, crisis, opportunity. Can I have a sun? Ciao. Can I have a card for Aries Sun, Pisces Ascendant, please? Aries Sun, Pisces Ascendant, June 25th, June 30th. Aries Sun, Pisces Ascendant. Aries Sun, Pisces Ascendant, June 25th to June 30th. Okay, have faith. All right, so let's read these. Ride the wave. You may be mistaking a rogue wave for a fun ride. You can only coast for so long before you hit the shoreline with a smack. The tide is ebbing, and your activities are now preparing you for when that wonderful wave comes in for you to ride. You're meant to learn how to be a strong swimmer now. Don't worry, preparation ensures a successful result. However, you must wait patiently for the right moment to come. Now is the time for conscious preparation and skill building. Okay. So that's that have faith card. It's like trust that whatever all this water that you've been swimming through, there's a reason for it. And it's interesting because this is such an earthly energy, and this is that sort of water spirit. So this is like kind of that Virgo overcoming the obstacles, and this is that very Piscean. The two sides of it, that like all of this swimming and sort of drowning in this water has actually been preparing you, has been very solid training to help you charge through whatever you have in front of you, which looks like a choice. So let's read this choice. You're required to come to a decision soon. You're faced with a dilemma or a fork in the road and must make a conscious choice regarding the next right action. Whatever that choice is, you must take responsibility for it, yet you needn't be afraid. You may not have all the answers right now because the way ahead can't be known until you've embarked and traveled a few steps. Trust your intuition. Ask for a sign from spirit and you will be led to the right path. If you remain conscious and aware, your choice will be the right one this time. Life is always about learning. Success lies in choosing consciously, guided by intuition and spirit. Okay, so, it's like how to apply all of this swimming lessons that you've gotten to be a strong force to be able to push through also, I think, this indecision that you have on whatever it is that you need to do. And whatever the next step is that you're not taking, trust in the fact that you seem to be more prepared than you believe you are. This talks about having a number of tools in your arsenal to be able to break through, climb over, go around, that there is never just one way to approach things, and that in the choice, so there is whatever 100% right answer you're looking for, there isn't one, because there's more than one way to approach every single problem. There are multiple solutions, and you're being asked to trust that your preparation up to this point is exactly what you need to have to be. So it's like your arsenal of choice is going to help you make whatever this right choice is. And once you've taken a few steps, like you can only know where you are once you've actually gone through the window. And so if you're afraid to go through the window, what it's saying is that as long as you use the skills that you've learned here and you apply them with practical reason, you can't make a mistake. Also, because if it's not a mistake, it's a lesson. So just have faith in whatever is this choice that you have on your desk, on your life, on your whatever. Balance your emotions with your intuition and know that there is no one right answer. There are multiple ways to approach every single thing. And as long as you are true to your experiences, not intentionally trying to repeat past mistakes, past cycles, you have everything that you need to from these lessons to be able to break through into this next chapter. Okay? Thanks for watching. Have a very great day, and I will see you again for the next reading. Take care.